In today's video, I'm going to be talking about EarnFlo by Jonathan Maxim. Before I get into that, I'm Hunter, a digital nomad who's been making money online since early 2020. And on this channel, I talk about the latest online business models and the courses that are out there to teach you how to implement those online business models successfully. So if that kind of content sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now getting into the course or service here that we're going to be talking about today, EarnFlo is a done-for-you service that basically sets up a fully functioning e-commerce store for you through Amazon, Walmart, and or eBay. So the goal is that they're going to handle everything for you so you can make money online passively through this e-commerce store. And they claim that if put the investment into the store and let them operate it, their goal is to get your baseline investment back to you within the first year of having the opportunity to operate your store for you. So in this module, in this video, I'm going to discuss the business model, what is e-commerce automation, some of the pros and cons of this specific service, the price of the service and what you get for that price, some of the challenges to consider when thinking about e-commerce automation, and then some other ways you can consider making money online. All right, so what is the business model? E-commerce automation is basically just outsourcing all the aspects of operating an e-commerce store like Amazon FBA or Shopify dropshipping by hiring the right support and implementing the right automation tools and strategies to generate income without you yourself having to actively work on the business. So for those of you that have capital, which typically requires 10 or 20, maybe $30,000 or more in some cases, this could be an opportunity to set up a passive income. So basically, the business model is an investment, right? You're completely paying somebody to set up this store for you and rely on them to make it a success. So now what are the pros of this specific automation service? Pretty much it's all the other automation services out there. Just depends which automation service owner you're going to trust the most, but you're going to be able to earn income online with just pure investment instead of putting in any work yourself if everything goes as planned. In terms of cons, some people might be interested in this because they think it's a training course, but it is not. It is just a service. There's no coaching or mentoring included there. So you're not going to get that kind of value if that's what you're expecting. There's no information online about the cost of the services, so you're going to have to book a call and get hitched on how much they want to sell it to you for. So it can range. So you have to make that call if you want to see what kind of opportunity they're going to present to you. And in terms of reviews and testimonials online, those are very sparse. There's not really anything out there to ascertain the quality of this. So yeah, it's just really hard to judge. All right, how much does it cost and what's included? As we said, the price can vary, but it's definitely going to cost in the tens of thousands of dollars. In terms of refund policy, there's nothing out there on a refund policy, so it could be pretty big risk. And in terms of an origin, it's relatively new, been around since 2022, so been around for a few years now. Typically, you'd like to see at least a little bit more in terms of reviews out there for something that's been around for a couple of years. All right, who's the coach? Jonathan Maxim. So he has been featured in Forbes. He's also been named one of the top 50 founders to watch by Startup Grind, another publication. Has a strong background in marketing strategy. He is a managing director at K&J Growth Hackers, which is like a lead generation agency. However, I will say it looks like the business hasn't been too active since a few years ago, 2022. If you look at like the Forbes content and press releases on like Google News, it had a lot of activity around 2020, 2021, 2022, but not much since then. So I'm not sure if the company is still that active. But anyway, yeah, he also is the host of Zen Business on Apple Podcasts. So you could also check him out there. And he is definitely still active with that podcast. Okay, so what is included in the EarnFlo service? You get automated payouts every 14 days directly to your bank account. So that sounds pretty nice. You get a trustworthy team that Jonathan helps train using his own e-commerce expertise to operate your store for you. So you're going to get full management of all aspects of your business, including sales, fulfillment, customer relations, product selection. So it really is a hands-off business. They're going to give you flexible investment options depending on the kind of business that you want to have. And they're going to be providing you with weekly and monthly reports detailing everything like cost, sales, revenue, and account activity. So you can verify that your business is operating in a good way. So what are the challenges of this business model? First off, it comes with a pretty high cost, right? You're going to have to spend tens of thousands of dollars. If you don't know anything about e-commerce when you're getting into this, if for some reason they decide to stop servicing your business, even if it's a profitable business, you're probably not going to know how to just take it over, right? You're not gaining any expertise from this to run an e-commerce business. You're really relying on a third party to operate this completely for you. Another challenge is just like figuring out if this is a good opportunity, just because there are many of these Amazon or e-commerce automation services out there. And I'm sure that some people do have a good experience, but like these companies really can't guarantee that everybody is going to have a successful business. That's just not really possible because there's so many factors that go into this, right? Sure, like an expert going into e-commerce might have a greater, or I'm sure has a greater chance of success than like a novice trying to start their e-commerce business and like choosing the right products and whatnot. But at the end of the day, even experts are going to make the wrong choice in some instances. And if you look at the sentiment from like you can look into other automation services out there, other e-commerce automation services out there. Some people have just had bad experiences and some people have had good experiences. At the end of the day, it is an investment. And with any investment, like there's always going to be some inherent risk that it is not going to turn out how you expect, is not going to be profitable. So in conclusion, is Jonathan Maxim's EarnFlo worth it? As you can probably already guess, I typically would shy away from saying that any of these e-commerce automation services are worth it because there's just no guarantee of success and you have to invest a considerable amount of money. So for most people who can't afford to lose tens of thousands of dollars, it's really not something I would recommend. Instead, I would recommend an alternative online business model called local lead generation. So what local lead generation is creating websites that attract customers for local service businesses. So these websites typically only cost a few $100s to set up, and you can get a shared hosting plan and host like multiple websites on that. And then each of those websites has the ability to generate anywhere from $500 to $3,000 per month, just depending on the location that you are ranking for and the specific service that you choose, because some service businesses are able to command higher commissions than others just because they're higher ticket. For example, here's a good example. Like you're trying to rank on Google for roofer in Dallas because you can see data using SEO tools that, hey, the keyword for roofer in Dallas has 1,000 or 2,000 visits per month, people typing that into Google. So if you can rank on the first page of Google for a keyword like that, then you can get a considerable amount of those 2,000 searches every month. And then you can turn around and sell those customer inquiries to a real local service business, a real roofing business per se in Dallas in this example, for a lot of money because you're bringing value to this business, you're bringing them leads. So yeah, I like this business model because it's a lot less risky. You really don't need to have tens of thousands of dollars to start generating online income. And here you can use your money to spread out your risk a little bit more, right? You can make 20 of these lead generation websites with maybe a few $1,000s at most, instead of maybe even a few $100s if you choose low competition areas. Instead of if you were to give tens of thousands of dollars to one of these Amazon or e-commerce automation companies, and they're going to probably choose one or maybe a few products to invest your money into. And if those products flop, then you're left with a bad investment there. So yeah, this is a lot cheaper to get into. It's a lot less risky. You can spread your risk out a lot more and put more opportunities out there for yourself. And it's just generally lower competition than e-commerce because you're really going to be competing against a few local service business owners in like one geographic area to rank on Google, as opposed to e-commerce stores trying to compete against everybody selling e-commerce, manufacturers in China, major brands, Amazon. That gets expensive to try to do marketing when you're competing against that level of competition. All right, guys, so if you want to learn more about local lead generation, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. If you stuck around to the end, thank you so much. I hope you got value out of this video. Make sure to drop up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.